Hello class. So this is my response to our Unit 7 form, and I chose to dispute athletes being paid. The first question is, why do I believe athletes should not be paid? Well, I don't believe athletes should be paid because they receive scholarships that cover their education, housing, books, and meals for them playing a sport. And as the common law definition, an employee is a person who performs services for another under a contract of hire, subject to others' control or right of control, and in return for payment. Well, college athletes do represent their school, but usually with the intent of improving their own stock. So in other words, for their own benefit. So they're not doing it for the benefit of the employer, but for themselves. So in reality, I feel like they represent themselves, and they're using this opportunity to improve on their stock so that it can benefit them instead of the university or college, which would be the employer. Positive and negatives for this. Well, the pros to being paid would be that it would help cover any kind of expenses, extra expenses that these student athletes can have, such as traveling or food or even going out. What another pro is that it decreases from like recruiters or sports agents or just any other personnel giving them money, so in a sense cheating to come in to that school and participate in their sports, or even say the college athlete cheating, shaving points or anything like that for that extra cash. A few cons would be that college sports itself would lose its amateurism status. With then college athletes getting paid, then it loses its amateur status and becomes more like a pro sport, professional sport, where this college student is now being paid. It also will decrease, I think, that sportsmanship that happens between colleges, because now you have athletes that are getting paid to play the sport, so it's more for the money than for the sportsmanship. And also, not all athletes would be paid, I would assume, the same, because depending on their talent, I don't think it would be a straightforward payment for each individual. And so this would create a unfairness, as well as at these low revenue colleges would not be able to afford to pay say these student athletes the same amount as a high revenue college. So there would create an unfairness and probably a decrease in talent in that case if they can't pay them. Now, should athletes be able to acquire jobs? I do believe that athletes should have the opportunity to have part-time jobs at the university, so that they are able to work and earn some extra cash to spend some of that extra expenses that are not covered by their school tuition or scholarship. Now, referring to the other part of the Knight Foundation Commission article or the website, what I learned from the website is that the purpose of it is to help student athletes by making sure that American colleges and universities are focusing more on their educational mission rather than the commercial aspect of it. So in a sense, giving student athletes the opportunity to focus on their education. The second question to that is, why do I find it intriguing and valuable to me in this interaction with sports? Well, at times I find it intriguing how some parents focus so much on their child's having the best training and the best opportunities to play in front of college scouts to get a scholarship, that they lose sight of focusing on their child's education as well. I think that it is valuable when a parent can separate sport and education, which means the parent needs to make sure that their child focuses on getting good grades by giving them tutors or the tools that they need for them to excel in the classroom. And as an incentive, they can earn that right to play sports rather than being the other way around, so that this will benefit them in the long run of them growing as a person. Thank you. Bye.